Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy, guys. For today's video, we got a video by the man Johnny Arnett. Link to his channel in the description below, titled "If MVPs Were Given to the Best Players for the 2010s," guys. So I believe I did check out the 2000s version. It was a very awesome video, guys. So yeah, obviously, you know, like every single year, the MVP award is not always based on like who actually like is like the most valuable player. It's almost like who's got like the best story and stuff, bro. So yeah, we're gonna check this out and see, you know, who won the MVP versus who should have actually got him. Man, if you guys don't mind dropping that like on this video, and of course subscribing if you are new to the channel. Let's get it.
Well, things would change up quite a bit. The decade we're looking at in this video is the 2010s, and let me know in a comment if you agree or disagree with these choices.
I disagree.
In 2010, LeBron James was the league MVP.
Agreed.
And on this new list, he keeps the award.
Yes, sir.
The actual MVP voting wasn't even close this season, as LeBron led a Cavs team that was devoid of superstar support to a league-best 61 wins. But even if we disregard team success and evaluate LeBron's season on an individual level, he still runs away with the award, as he averaged 29.7 points, 8.6 assists, 7.
I swear, there was like a 5-year stretch where LeBron should have won every single damn season.
0.3 rebounds and 1.6 steals on 50.3% shooting. On top of all of these nice...
Because if you think about it, man, like people say LeBron is either the best or the second best player of all time. So if there's like, if he's in his prime playing his best basketball for like a 5-year stretch, shouldn't he win it every single year? Because he's the best player, most valuable player. I don't know, but like I said, story-driven, man.
Offensive numbers, James also established himself as one of the NBA's best defensive players, as he made first-team All-Defense for the second straight season. Kobe obviously
2K giving him a 50 shot block, guys. He has a lower shot block than Curry.
Season numbers were actually pretty tame compared to LeBron's. And if the Mamba was the MVP of anything that year, it was definitely the playoffs. A 21-year-old Kevin Durant also had a monstrous season offensively, but the skinny star hadn't quite made a name for himself yet on the defensive end.
Yeah, he was still coming up.
LeBron maintains his firm grasp on the award. In 2011,
it's kind of like Jason Tatum. Like I see Tatum winning an MVP eventually, but he's got to go through some things first, right? Like there's some other guys that are kind of in line first before Jason Tatum gets someone, you know, despite him being great at his young age, right?
Derrick Rose was the MVP, becoming the youngest player in NBA history.
Then people say Kobe should have won it this year.
As awesome as that year was, on this list, he loses the MVP to LeBron James.
LeBron, yeah, okay.
The 2011 MVP race is one of the most interesting debates of basketball history. Derrick Rose indeed had a spectacular season with averages of 25 points, 7.7 assists, and 4.1 rebounds on 44.5% shooting.
He was something else to watch, man.
To the best record in the league.
But
LeBron had even greater numbers with arguably his best season on the defensive end, once again making first-team All-Defense. It was a weird season for the King, as it was his first season in Miami, alongside of 2 other legitimate superstars, which may have affected how the voters placed their votes.
Well, also, I think that year, the Heat, they kind of had a slow start with the big three at first. Like, I remember, because, yeah, I believe the Bulls did get first place that year, and the Heat, is like, they were still dominant, no doubt. They got to the NBA Finals, lost to the Dallas Mavericks, but, you know, they did have some growing pains to start off, which you would kind of expect with getting, you know, superstar players like that, you know, playing together.
But if we're looking at it objectively, LeBron was clearly the more productive player in terms of efficiency, defensively, and in advanced analytics.
Well, you're about to cry.
Obviously, this season for LeBron is remembered most famously for his disappointing performance in the NBA Finals.
The cramp.
But only the regular season is being factored in here, so his award is safe. Honorable mention goes to Dwight Howard, who won his 3rd straight Defensive Player of the Year. But even Dwight
big guys barely win MVP
quite
now.
On the same level as LeBron in any of his years with the Heat. In 2012, LeBron James won the MVP in a lockout-shortened season, and he's keeping the award once again. This one will be quick.
Hard to fight against it.
James was easily the most dominant player this season, as he averaged 27.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 1.9 steals on 53.1% shooting. Kevin Durant had a good season as well, putting up 28, 8, and 3 on just under 50% shooting.
Not as good as his first season.
Despite those nice numbers,
or the 22-year-old season.
Close, because unlike Durant, LeBron was first-team All-Defense once again. He easily had the highest player efficiency rating that season, he led the league in win shares, and he also had the league's best plus-minus. We're not even factoring in how he dominated the playoffs, won the championship, and the finals MVP. No matter what formula you use to decide the MVP winner, LeBron comes out on top.
Yeah, that's like the all-time LeBron you see on 2K now. That's like LeBron like at peak form.
In 2012. In 2013, LeBron James won the MVP award yet again, and he's keeping the award because this is arguably the best season of his career.
How many he got,
and
like
one of
4?
the greatest seasons in NBA history. Kevin Durant had a monstrous season, averaging 28, 8, and 5 on 51% shooting and 41% from three-point range. Kobe also had an epic year and what was his last MVP caliber season of his career, which ended in the famous Achilles tear.
27,
Despite
6,
those
and
valiant
6, man.
efforts, there was absolutely nothing LeBron didn't
Kobe
do
Bryant.
this year, as he led the Heat to 66 wins and their legendary 27-game winning streak.
Okay, this was
By
peak
nature of this
LeBron.
new
This was
MVP
peak.
formula, I'm not allowed to count LeBron's team success to his best player case, but he doesn't need it. He averaged 26.8 points, 8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 1.7 steals on an absurd 56.5% shooting and 40.6% from three-point range.
I mean, I'm going to say it once and I'll say it again. Like, when it comes to the MVP award, like, the way that, like, it should be called the most bestest player award. Just because, you know, I try to think about it in the sense, like, if you take this player off this team, how bad does that team get? Like, I look at the Bucks. You take Giannis off the Bucks. How bad do they get? They get pretty damn bad. How do you know, LeBron when he was on Cavaliers, you take him off, they get really damn bad. We've seen proof of that. So, I don't know. It's very interesting.
He was an absolute force on the defensive end, swatting shots, locking down the opposing star,
Thiago
and not only did he
Splitter.
make first team all defense, but he actually finished as a close second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. He easily led the
Who the
league
hell's
in
number 11?
PER,
Oh, that's that,
win shares, and plus minus, and had an
Name starts with an
unbelievable
M.
64% true shooting percentage. From top to bottom, all around, on every spot of the court, from beginning of the season to its very end, LeBron had a year for the record books. In 2014, Kevin Durant
You're the real
won the
MVP.
award, and he's actually keeping the award just slightly ahead of LeBron. It's possible that Oklahoma City's 59 wins compared to Miami's 54 wins was the swaying factor in the actual MVP voting. Maybe even voter fatigue played a factor against LeBron. But
I think
even
that's
outside
probably
of
the
that,
case.
I still give the edge to Durant in what was basically just a heated two-man race. LeBron put up 27.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.6 steals on a tremendous 56.7% shooting. It was going to take something pretty incredible to stop this streak that LeBron had going, and that's just what KD did, as he put up 32 points, 7.4
Oh my God,
rebounds,
yes.
5.5
Yes.
assists, and 1.3 steals on 50.3%
Definitely
shooting.
his award to
He
keep.
was lethal
Definitely.
from everywhere on the floor, as he not only comfortably led the league in scoring this year, but he nearly had a 50-40-90 season while doing it. If he had pulled off the 50-40-90 feat,
Like Chris
it
Middleton
would
on
have been the
steroids.
highest scoring 50-40-90 season in all of NBA history. The major advanced stats are almost entirely in his favor as well, as he led the league in player efficiency rating, win shares, and plus minus. If there was ever a time where KD was the best player in the league, in my humble opinion, this was it. In 2015, Steph Curry won his first MVP
Keeps it.
award, and now he loses the
Oh!
award to Anthony Davis.
Damn,
You
AD,
must be
really?
asking, Anthony Davis? Yep. But let me start by explaining that this is
I mean, yes, because we're not going by really team success. Okay, because Anthony Davis, yes, there was a time really before he was with the Lakers where, like, you know, sitting on like the bench and stuff, like bitching about getting traded, that he did put up historically great numbers.
easily the weakest group of MVP candidates in this decade. Steph won the award in large part due to his Warriors having a league-best 67 wins, and his three-point shooting was pioneering its way to the next era of basketball. But he certainly wasn't an elite defensive player, and when you take a look at the numbers, they're kind of tame compared to the
they're
usual
okay.
MVP
They're
standards.
good, all
LeBron
things
James
considered.
had a solid regular season, but it was also a significant drop-off from his Miami production, as he was now shooting below 50% from the field, and this was the first year where we could visibly notice that LeBron's on-ball defense had substantially gotten worse. James Harden and Russell Westbrook had solid seasons too, but the edge remains with a 21-year-old Anthony Davis.
I'm curious if Russell's
He
going to
didn't
get
place
his.
higher in the actual MVP voting because his Pelicans only won 45 games. But that wasn't his fault, as he had the least star power supporting him out of all the other serious MVP candidates. Davis put up averages of
He had,
24.4
Amir
points,
Ashik.
10.2
I think,
rebounds,
maybe.
1.5 steals, and 2.9 blocks on 53.5% shooting. AD was also an elite rim protector as he comfortably led the league in blocks this season. Out of the top 5 MVP finalists, he was the only one to make an all-defense team appearance as he finished 4th overall in the defensive player.
Yeah, it doesn't really
of the year
surprise
voting.
me he kept
Throw
it,
in the
or
fact that he
should
was
get it, I
lethal from
guess
the
I
free
should
throw
say.
line as a big man, and he also had the league's best player efficiency rating, and that's enough to get my vote this season. In 2016, Steph Curry became the first ever
Back-to-back
unanimous MVP winner. And on this new list, he keeps the award.
There we go.
I believe this is the first winner I've picked in the series where I'm able to overlook the fact that he's not elite defensively. Other players had pretty good 2016 campaigns, but it's basically pointless to talk about anyone other than Curry because of how far and wide he separated himself from the rest of the competition. Everyone remembers the Warriors went 73-9 to break the Bulls' all-time record, but he doesn't even need that working in his favor to stand out. He absolutely shattered the NBA
what an
record
unnecessary
for
pass that was.
made in a season with 402. At the time, no one else had even made over 300 in a season. On top of that, he shot 45.4% from three-point range. To make that many
I do miss watching Curry play.
That percentage over the course of a season is something that seemed basically unhuman up to that point. He led the league in scoring and steals as he averaged 30.1 points,
80 on his ass.
6.7 assists, 5.4 rebounds, and 2.1 steals on 50.4% shooting. It was his first 50-40-90 season and is still the highest scoring 50-40-90 season of all time. Furthermore, he led the league in free throw percentage, true shooting percentage, player efficiency rating, win shares, and plus-minus. Dare I say, I think we as a basketball community have already started to lose track of how incredible Steph Curry was during the 2016
We take for
season.
granted his shooting now.
In
We take for granted for it.
Russell Westbrook won the MVP in a season where he
Keeps it.
averaged a triple-double. And on this new list, he's keeping the award,
Better.
slightly ahead of James Harden and LeBron James. Westbrook dominated offensively for the Thunder and carried the team to the playoffs in their first season without Kevin Durant. Westbrook's 2017 campaign still has the highest usage rate of any season in NBA history. He led the league in scoring with averages of 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, 10.4 assists, and 1.6 steals on 42.5% shooting. Some
Still
people
incredible
won't
as
like
hell.
this choice, since many people have criticized Westbrook for being a stat patter. And sure, maybe Steven Adams let Westbrook have a couple rebounds here and there, but even if we knock off a couple of his rebounds...
It's not like Adams was averaging no 20 rebounds per game anyway. I mean, any circumstance, he's like 6 rebounds per game.
You still can't help but be incredibly impressed by his production this season. Something I rarely see people mention is how Westbrook put up monstrous...
It's actually smart to let the point guard get the rebounds. Less chance of a turnover.
4.6 minutes per game, and that put him in only 20th place, well behind most elite superstars. James Harden had fantastic numbers as well while playing a couple more minutes per game. Both stars had very comparable shooting statistics, but Harden actually set the record for the highest turnover per game average in NBA history.
That's the worst of all time? That's actually not...
Which doesn't really help his case.
I mean, yeah, that's bad, obviously, but I would have thought it would be a lot higher. 5.7? Okay.
LeBron's level of production is a little too far behind in order to strongly consider him for the award.
Almost had that triple-double, though.
He doesn't have elite
Almost.
defense working in his favor anymore either. None of these candidates do for that matter. With all this being said, Westbrook was simply on another level this year, even if you take away a rebound or two and the triple-double achievement. In 2018, James Harden won his first MVP
Giannis.
award, and now he loses the award to LeBron James.
LeBron.
In the actual MVP
LeBron.
voting,
Okay.
this was a tough two-man race between Harden and LeBron. Harden led the league in scoring.
When Giannis
behind
come
starting
around
averages
next year?
of about 30 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals on 45% shooting. His Rockets won a league-best 65 games that season, so I definitely think the best player on the best team logic had a strong influence in the voting. LeBron, on the other hand, put up 27.5 points, 8.6 rebounds, 9.1 assists, and 1.4 steals on a significantly more efficient...
We mistaken James Harden's stats, for selfish basketball. Like, at the time, we were just like, oh my God, it's so amazing. And now we all realize that the system is kind of broken for the Houston Rockets. It doesn't really work.
54.2% shooting. Not only do LeBron's numbers appear to be slightly better, but LeBron also played in all 82 games that regular season. A feat
That's
that
big
none of
time.
the other MVP candidates were able to achieve that
No
year,
load management.
and Harden played a total of 10 less games. Not only do people regularly recognize LeBron as the better player, but
Damn,
this
Oliver
season,
Nurkic.
he had the production and consistency to back it up, without the playoffs even being factored in which case it would have not been close. In 2019, Giannis won the MVP,
Keeps it.
and he's keeping the award just slightly ahead of James Harden. It's going to go down as one of the more controversial and hotly debated MVPs of league history.
Hey, I'm okay with
and I
it.
expect this comment section to be more of the same. I wrestled with this one for a while, but ultimately, I believe Giannis was the more complete player. He averaged 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks on 58% shooting. Compare that to Harden, who dropped 36.1 points, 6.6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 2 steals on 44% shooting.
What was the field goal attempts? Because if Harden was shooting more, of course he's going to score more, right? Like, let's give, Giannis 40 shots a game and see how many he puts up, how many points.
Gotta admit, I feel a little crazy for not giving the best player award to a man who averaged a well-rounded 36 points per game.
That is true.
But here's my major reasons why. For one, Giannis was clearly the better defensive player. Now, that's not to hate on Harden, whose on-ball defense has improved tremendously in recent years.
Bet you Blake Griffin scored that.
His defense in the post. But even with that being said, he's not Giannis, who was the main reason why the Bucks had the league's #1 ranked defense that season. And Giannis finished second overall in the Defensive Player of the Year voting.
Basically
Another
this year, right?
Is how Giannis played only 32.8 minutes per game, which is insane, and was ranked 37th in the league compared to Harden, who was 3rd overall in minutes per game. Not enough is said about how
who's
crazy
number 1?
it is that Giannis consistently puts up MVP
Probably Jimmy
numbers
Butler
on a role player's amount of minutes. Overall, I'm not a big fan of the per 36 minute stat, because it's not fair to simply prorate a guy's numbers and pretend that it's actual production. But with that being said, Giannis does so much with so little that I can only imagine if he had a league leader's amount of minutes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Start giving him more minutes, and it wouldn't take long for his numbers to look really goofy, and dare I say, Wilt Chamberlain-like. Now, if he could just figure out a way to translate that to the playoffs, he'd be set. Here's a quick recap of who originally won the award.
Wilt Chamberlain grabbed damn 50 rebounds a game.
Format. Do you agree with the list? Let me know in the comments.
All right, guys, that is the end of the video. Very interesting. What I like about this guy's channel right here, man, is that, he keeps it real. Like, he don't beat around the bush or nothing like that. He tells it like it is. So, yeah, I thought this was really interesting. Do you guys agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.